Welcome to Naveen Tech Hub, where AI meets real-world engineering.
So let's just forget everything you think you know about spreadsheets for a minute. They're not just these static grids for storing data anymore. Today, we're going to show you how to turn a simple Google Sheet into, well, the command center for your entire operation, and we're going to do it using the power of n8n.
I want you to really think about this for a second. What if your spreadsheet could actually think for itself? What if it didn't just hold information, but it could act on that information, bringing you insights and taking action all on its own? This isn't science fiction, I promise. It's exactly what happens when you connect Google Sheets with an automation tool like n8n. So how do we do it? Well, the secret is understanding that the Google Sheets integration in n8n actually plays two very different but equally important roles. It can be a trigger, which is what kicks off your workflow, or it can be an action, which is something that performs a task inside a workflow. This dual personality is what makes it so incredibly powerful. This slide just breaks it down perfectly. Think of the trigger as your lookout. It's always listening for changes in your sheet. And when it hears something like, hey, a new row was just added, it sounds the alarm and gets your entire workflow moving. The action node, on the other hand, is your worker bee. It's not listening, it's doing. It reads data, it writes new data, it updates cells, but it only does it when it's told to. Okay, so let's get really clear on this. The action node is the doer in your workflow. It just takes orders. It does things like, hey, go get the data from this column, or add this new information as a new row, or update that specific cell. It doesn't act on its own. It just executes the commands you give it. And on the flip side, you've got the trigger node. This is the listener. It's just sitting there, constantly monitoring your sheet. And the moment it detects what it's been waiting for, like a new customer signs up and gets added to a row, bam! It fires the starting gun for your entire automation. All right, enough with the theory, right? Let's see this in action. How does this worker bee, the action node, actually get things done in a real-world scenario? And this is what's so cool about its flexibility. You can operate at a really high level with document operations. We're talking like creating a whole new spreadsheet from scratch. Or you can get super specific with sheet within document operations, like updating a single cell, adding just one row, or clearing out a particular range of data. It gives you absolute precision. Here is a perfect, really practical example. Imagine you have a complex workflow, and suddenly it fails. Instead of the whole thing just grinding to a halt, you can build an error handling path. When that failure happens, a Google Sheets action node is told to write the exact error message, the data that caused the problem, and a timestamp right into a log file. I mean, this is absolutely crucial for building automations you can actually rely on.
Okay, so we've met the worker bee. Now let's talk about the lookout. How does the trigger node keep a constant watch over your data, always ready to spring into action?
This right here, this is the whole idea behind event-driven automation. You're not just running a check every morning at 9 a.m. to see if there's new data. No, the Google Sheets trigger is always on, always watching. The second a new lead fills out a form and that data hits your sheet, the trigger grabs it and kicks off the whole process instantly. It's reactive and it's so much more efficient. So we've covered the basics, but now we get to the really exciting part. This is where we take our humble little spreadsheet and we give it a super powered brain. Let's talk about AI. This is a huge mental shift, so I want you to really lean into it. Your spreadsheet stops being just a passive place to store stuff. It becomes the memory and the context for an artificial intelligence. The AI can read from the sheet to understand what's going on, and it can write back to the sheet to record what it decided or discovered. It creates this incredibly powerful feedback loop. And this isn't just a cool idea. Look at these real-world things people are doing across all kinds of departments. For sales, you've got an AI analyzing and scoring new leads right inside the sheet. For marketing, you can literally use a spreadsheet as a simple content management system to write and publish your blog posts. And for ops, you can build a chatbot that lets you ask questions about your data in plain English. The possibilities here are just massive. Let's zoom in on that sales example, okay? How does something like that actually work, step by step? You see how this all connects? A new row gets added to the sheet. The trigger node sees it instantly. It then sends that new data over to an AI model like GPT-4 with a prompt that says something like, based on our ideal customer, score this lead from 1 to 10. The AI sends its score back, and then an action node writes that number right back into a new column on that very same row. Just like that, your sales team can sort by score and focus only on the hottest leads. Now let's switch gears completely. Let's see how this exact same pattern can totally revolutionize a completely different department: human resources.
It's a very similar pattern. All the applicant data flows into a spreadsheet. The workflow sends that data to an AI to see if they meet the basic job requirements. But here's the really cool part. The AI doesn't just score them. It completely filters out the people who aren't a good fit, and then an action node writes the clean, organized data for only the best applicants into a brand new sheet for the HR team to look at. Think about how much time that saves.
So, after seeing all of this, from simple error logging to these complex AI analyses, what's the one big idea? What's the key thing you should walk away with?
It all comes down to this. If you master the Google Sheets node, you're essentially mastering the entire data lifecycle. You gain the power to extract data from anywhere, transform it using all sorts of logic or even AI, and then load it right back into your business processes. It's not just a spreadsheet anymore. It's a complete data engine.
So now you get it. They understand these core ideas: triggers, actions, and how to plug in AI. You've basically unlocked a whole new way of thinking about your data. It's not just sitting there anymore. It's an active, dynamic part of your entire operation. So the only real question left is, where are you going to start?
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to n8n Tech Hub for practical AI.